Right, where are we going next? A pondering piece next. A lot of people are finally seeing this year through the illusion, and many are now seeing and questioning, are there two Donald Trumps? And we've heard of clones and body doubles, and from my understanding, much of the cloning centres are no longer operating to be able to carry that off. And many top people use body doubles, as people's perception of focus is often not strong enough to notice the subtle differences from appearance to appearance. But I have an alternative theory that people should ponder on deeply. Remember, all those on TV or stage are actors. Many actors play differing roles, and many actors can be trained to talk in a different accent or nationality. There may be subtle differences of an English actor playing an American voice-based role, but not enough to discredit it. Now, when you add in, they have a technology device that goes under the tongue that, when programmed, can speak anyone's voice. This adds a whole new ball game to the masses. Because with that device, you speak normally, but the technology converts it into the voice of another person. Remember Hillary Clinton spitting out something into a glass? Was that the technology I'm speaking of? And I believe these subtle differences now come under a new category that is not clones or doubles, but people of the same stature using a face mask of somebody else. Think about it. Look at the movies and horror masks or scenes where there is violence and faces are bloodied or injured. It all looks realistic. And the question then is it not possible or realistic to place a rubber stage prop mask over people's heads and present themselves as an original person of note? And this does explain all the discrepancies of public figures looking and acting subtly different, does it not? That's your first ponder. Here's a deeper pondering piece. I found this piece this week and I thought it was an interesting concept for our members to ponder on. And it's called Debunking the Creator God. And before all the religious people start panicking, listen closely. The Creator God implies predestination. Predestination opposes free will, because free will requires an individual decision making, and predestination requires everything that was done, is being done, and will be done in the hands of his creation. Like a loop. Predestination is an enemy of free will. A creator God would have complete control over everything and is basically the script writer of their creation. This can be seen in computer programming, where the programmer is the God over his program. He can change whatever he deems fit with the program's consent, and all outcomes of the program are known facts, as the program executes scripted commands that are created by the programmer. Hence, the past, present, and future in the world of a creator God has already been decided, and we, the alleged creation, have no control over its outcome. This then makes the world seem mechanistic and dead, as we have no power and exist as mere automatons. Free will, on the other hand, is based on one's ability to make individual choices that we record as the past experience, manipulate as present decisions, and anticipate as the future. Hence, free will can only exist in a domain where the future is unknown and the past is inaccessible. The past is a known memory. It cannot become unknown or manipulated. And this is similar to the concepts behind blockchain technology. As above, so below. The Creator God is obviously an enemy of free will, the very thing none of us can oppose, as our very existence alone proves it. You cannot believe in free will and the Creator God. And the report states the Creator God is a narcissist, complete control freak. This is why Creator God religions requite full submission, submission, which means substitute mission, to believe or not to believe. The very fact that only you can make that decision for you should make free will an obviously irrefutable fact. Now, that is a fairly interesting and deep pondering piece, which is why I put it in, and a thought concept to ponder on. The reference to the God being a computer programming brings up many connotations and makes one ponder on AI. Is everything just an AI overlay? And no, I don't believe we are computer simulations either, whereby our God or even source could well be an AI invention, which then explains the bot-like behavior of many of his creations, does it not? You know, with the recent revelation that, quote, source, unquote, told the trustee to create an internet TV station, which has raised many concerns about and of the trustee. But for me personally, it raises more concerns from my perspective, not who received the message, but where did that message really come from? The last two parents, the twins, one of which is only appearing in here at times as a VI, virtual intelligence, our life force energy converted from coins to paper and now seemingly marching towards fresh air tokens, with a techno world on steroids lurking around the corner from us, it is something we should all think deeply upon. And forget whether you are religious or not. Everything on this planet currently is about shortening time spans via genetics, technology, travel, or even conferences. But given the distances of travel and the main stargates down for speed of travel, it would be an easier way of controlling a planet and its beings from afar, with the use of technology, is it not? AI gods and goddesses? Oh my. What a way to cheat death and not return to source. Is that what has really taken place in this solar system? All ones and zeros and binary code are not the one-on-one with the one, which we had on some levels earlier this year until someone decided to go 1-0-0. The key is how to correct it, and that involves the all, not just the one. Something to ponder on deeply. On many levels, it kind of makes sense. On others, maybe not. But the idea you can't have predestination with free will is something to ponder very deeply on. And whilst we're on the subject of religion, an interesting chat popped up in the MeWe this week and in emails as well. And the question of my stance on religion. Now, this piece is not related or directed to or against those people. I want to make that clear. But is a generalization of the facts that are put forward in our show. And I've been told that my religious stance stops some people from listening to our show or message. But is that not the case of throw the baby out with the bathwater time? And all our movement of people improving their lives is discounted due to a religious or political stance, and that is not conducive to harmony. But this I find curious in many ways, as I don't stop them or question them as to why they are religious in any way. I don't go onto other people's blogs and say, I don't agree that you're religious. And yet it is curious that some would not listen to me because I'm not religious. And those stances are part of the reason for humanity being largely separated, that people will draw a line and not learn to overcome difference, whether that applies to religion, politics, gender, or race. And this is what we're trying to change here with THI. So the question is, why is my opinion attacked? And yet I never send out emails to question anyone else on their religion or beliefs. But this is not actually about me. This is a generalization, because you all come across people in your day-to-day life who question your beliefs. And why is there a disconnect when people having differing opinions is where I'm going with this. Is this not an example of the Milgram experiment? As because society or authority states something, that people have to follow it without question. Whether religion, government, politics, history, or the many other things the so-called authorities state we must believe them, like the COVID crisis. But has that blind belief served us well? Well, clearly not. And this is why we all have to become more flexible in all areas of life to improve things. There is nothing the old system likes better than to see us all divided. You have all witnessed the division of the people's movement this year, due in part to one group play acting all about the self. Now, here are some of the questions. It's not everyone's on social media. In fact, we have a lot more listeners than social media members, of the questions on religion that are posed that day. And if Jesus is as real as many say, what are you expecting him to do? What is saving us? Saving us from what? Have we defined it? But if he was alive and here today, and he said to you, be quiet about me, and asked, what are you doing for you, others and me? How will or could you answer that question? Ask yourselves that and see where you go with it. But does the concept of a person dying 2,000 years ago and then returning from the dead to save you sound rational? Nobody ever asks, what can they do for Jesus? Only what he can do for them. That is a saviour program. 3 to 4 billion people asking one man to save them every day, but never ask, what can I do for you or others? You have millions of people that deny the existence of ETs because they haven't met them. They have, you just didn't notice. And yet billions believe something that has never actually been proven, and in many cases cannot be proven. And it's all based on your beliefs. But you yourself never created those beliefs. Think about that for a second. Those beliefs were passed on to you by parents, indoctrinated into you by school, solidified opinions done by books written by other people, and reinforced by the mainstream media and the church. Nobody was born a Christian, Muslim, Catholic, Protestant, Methodist, or Baptist. Nobody. Your belief was created for you. Now, I've left out one main religion for a reason, as it's debatable those people were given beliefs or created only to be the belief system. And my questions raised are to get people to think for themselves. You chose Jesus, and that is fine to me. But Jesus told you to not follow me, but follow yourself. And the question remains, are you?